Hello friends, and welcome to my Old Coin History Our Coin channel. Here, we explore the fascinating world of coins from around the globe, from rare old coins to modern treasures. If you love history, culture, and collecting, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay connected with our journey into the history of money. The Australian 20-cent coin of 2002, bearing the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, stands as one of the enduring symbols of modern Australian coinage, embodying over 3 decades of the nation's economic, political, and cultural evolution under the reign of Her Majesty. Introduced originally in 1966 as part of the monumental shift from the imperial to the decimal currency system, the 20-cent coin replaced the florin, 2 shillings, and became one of the most widely circulated denominations in everyday Australian life. The 2002 issue, though seemingly ordinary, carries deep historical resonance, produced during the later years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign when the Commonwealth nations were increasingly reinterpreting their ties to the British Crown. On the obverse front of the coin is the refined portrait of Queen Elizabeth II sculpted by the acclaimed British artist Ian Rank Broadley, whose design debuted in 1999 and was notable for its realism, maturity, and dignity compared to earlier, more idealized effigies. The legend, Elizabeth II Australia 2002, encircles her portrait, symbolizing both national sovereignty and continued constitutional ties to the monarchy. The reverse back of the coin features the iconic platypus, an animal native to Australia and one of the most extraordinary creatures in the natural world, a semi-aquatic, egg-laying mammal with a duck's bill and webbed feet, representing the uniqueness and evolutionary distinctiveness of the Australian continent. This striking reverse design was created by Stuart Devlin, the official goldsmith and designer to Her Majesty the Queen, who was responsible for the entire suite of Australian decimal coin reverses in 1966. His work captures the platypus in dynamic motion beneath the water, surrounded by curved lines suggesting ripples or flowing currents, evoking both grace and vitality. The 20-cent 2002 coin is struck in cupro-nickel alloy, consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it its characteristic silvery appearance and durability, with a weight of 11.30 grams, a diameter of 28.52 millimeters, and a milled edge. It was minted primarily at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, though some coins were also produced at other Commonwealth mints to supplement national supply. In 2002, the coin continued to circulate alongside other denominations such as the 5C, 10C, 50C, $1, and $2 coins, which together represented the enduring success of Australia's decimal coinage system more than 35 years after its introduction. Despite being a standard circulation coin, the 2002 20-cent piece also exists in uncirculated and proof sets issued by the Royal Australian Mint for collectors, struck with exceptional detail and finish, making them prized items among numismatists. The mintage numbers were in the tens of millions, ensuring its ubiquity across the nation, from the bustling cities of Sydney and Melbourne to the remote outback towns where cash remained a cornerstone of trade and community life. From a historical perspective, the 2002 issue year holds quiet but significant meaning. It followed the centenary of Federation 1901-2001 celebrations, during which Australia reflected upon a century of nationhood separate from Britain, while still honoring the monarchy as a symbol of stability and continuity. The coin therefore represents a moment of transition in Australia's national identity, proud of its unique wildlife, landscape, and democratic institutions, yet deeply respectful of the traditions inherited from its Commonwealth lineage. Queen Elizabeth's image on the coin was not merely a formality, it embodied the Commonwealth connection, representing not dominance but partnership, tradition, and mutual respect. Each coin that passed through the hands of millions of Australians during this period served as a small metallic link between past and present, between the colonies that once were and the independent nation that had become a respected member of the global community. The numismatic value of the 20-cent 2002 Elizabeth coin depends on condition and variety. While regular circulation coins hold face value, uncirculated or proof coins, or those with rare minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center pressings, or planchette flaws, can fetch much higher prices among collectors, ranging from a few dollars to several hundred depending on rarity. Over time, the coin has also acquired sentimental and cultural value, being one of the last Australian decimal coins to retain the Ian Rank Broadley effigy before later updates to the Queen's portrait. The coin's elegant balance of British heritage and Australian wildlife artistry makes it a miniature work of national symbolism. From a design philosophy standpoint, the coin exemplifies mid-20th century numismatic artistry, where symbolic imagery and national character were merged into practical everyday currency. The platypus design was particularly admired internationally for its natural realism and dynamic form, a significant departure from the heraldic or abstract motifs seen in many other nations' coins of the era. Over time, this coin became not just a monetary tool but a cultural artifact, telling the story of how Australia embraced its identity, geographically distant yet spiritually connected to the Commonwealth. As we look back today, the 2002 Australian 20-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II stands as a silent witness to decades of Australian prosperity, change, and global recognition. It reminds collectors and historians alike that every coin is more than just metal. It is a carrier of memory, authority, and art, the reflection of a nation's journey etched in alloy. Whether jingling in a pocket in 2002 or preserved carefully in a numismatic collection today, this coin continues to bridge generations, marking a time when Queen Elizabeth II was still the unifying face of the Commonwealth, and the platypus remained an enduring emblem of Australia's natural wonder and uniqueness. Next coin. The Australian 20-cent coin dated 2000, portraying Queen Elizabeth II, represents far more than a piece of metal. It is a compressed chronicle of modern Australian nationhood, a living echo of the decimal revolution of 1966, and a glinting monument to the enduring connection between Australia and the British Crown under the long reign of Her Majesty. Struck in cupro-nickel alloy, 75% copper, 25% nickel, weighing 11.30 grams, measuring 28.52 millimeters, and edged with fine milling, it continues the robust technical standards established when Australia abandoned pounds, shillings, and pence for the decimal system that forever simplified its currency and harmonized it with international trade. The obverse carries the refined third-generation effigy of Queen Elizabeth II sculpted by Raphael Makhlouf Aube, used from 1985 until 1998 but retained by the Royal Australian Mint for several subsequent circulation years including certain 2000-dated issues, portraying the Queen wearing the royal diadem she dons for the state opening of Parliament, her expression serene yet firm, embodying continuity and dignity. The inscription, Elizabeth II Australia 2000, encircles the bust, symbolizing both the constitutional monarchy and the independent democratic nation that flourished under her reign. The reverse features the eternally dynamic platypus, designed by master goldsmith Stuart Devlin, official jeweler to the Queen and chief designer of Australia's original decimal reverses. Devlin's composition captures the platypus' in sinuous underwater motion, its webbed limbs driving through stylized ripples that swirl around its form, suggesting the vitality of Australian wildlife and the flowing life of the continent's waterways. By the year 2000, Australia stood at the threshold of a new millennium, freshly reflective after the grand centenary of Federation, 1901-2001, celebrations that were about to begin, and this coin circulated through every corner of the continent as a silent witness to that historic turning point. Each 20-cent piece clinked in pockets from the red deserts of Alice Springs to the coastal cafes of Sydney, linking millions of daily transactions into one national rhythm. The Royal Australian Mint in Canberra produced tens of millions of these coins to meet circulation demand, employing precision-engineered dies, hydraulic presses, and strict metallurgical standards to ensure uniformity and durability in a harsh climate. Though mass-produced, every specimen carried the subtle beauty of Devlin's design and Makhlouf's portrait, making the coin simultaneously functional and artistic. Collectors today often note that 2000 was a transitional year in Australian coinage, because special commemorative 50-cent and $1 coins marked the approach of Federation's centenary, yet the humble 20-cent remained steadfastly unchanged, a quiet reminder of stability amidst celebration. Numismatically, the 20-cent 2000 Elizabeth II coin has both ordinary and exceptional forms. Standard circulation strikes retain only face value unless preserved in uncirculated condition, but proof and mint set versions, struck on polished blanks with mirrored fields and frosted relief, command higher regard among collectors. Rarer still are Ms-struck varieties, off-center strikes, broad-struck edges, or double planchet errors, each of which can transform an everyday coin into a sought-after numismatic curiosity worth many times its face value. Over the decades, coins from 2000 have developed subtle toning and wear patterns that reveal their long journey through commerce, each nick or scratch a micro-record of Australia's economic heartbeat at the dawn of the 21st century. Historically, this coin also mirrors the continuity of the monarchy's imagery in Commonwealth nations. While Canada, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom adopted different portrait transitions at slightly different times, Australia maintained a distinctive blend of local independence and imperial tradition, reflected in the persistent presence of Queen Elizabeth II on every coin from the smallest cent to the largest commemorative piece. Culturally, the platypus reverse remains one of the most beloved emblems in Australian numismatics. The creature itself, a paradox of nature, a mammal that lays eggs, equipped with a duck's bill, beaver's tail, and otter's feet, fascinated scientists since its discovery by Europeans in the late 18th century, and its inclusion on the coin in 1966 symbolized the uniqueness of the continent's fauna and the spirit of discovery that defines Australia's identity. Devlin's interpretation from 1966 through 2000 embodied that same uniqueness. Even as technology and art styles evolved, the design's fluid energy remained timeless. The coin's gleam under sunlight, its resonance when dropped on a counter, its reassuring weight in the palm, all these sensory details form part of Australia's shared cultural memory. For a child receiving change at a corner store in 2000, or a traveler paying a toll on the Great Ocean Road, the 20-cent coin served as a tactile emblem of belonging. Economically, the denomination held modest but important power, bridging small purchases and larger sums, essential for vending machines, parking meters, and daily trade. Millions flowed through banks, supermarkets, and public transport systems, maintaining liquidity in a largely cash-based society before digital payment dominance. Environmentally, its cupro-nickel composition ensured resistance to corrosion in humid coastal regions and arid interiors alike, guaranteeing decades of circulation life. Even as polymer banknotes replaced paper and electronic transactions grew, the 20-cent coin persisted as a resilient relic of tangible value. From a numismatic historian's viewpoint, the 2000 Australian 20-cent Queen Elizabeth II coin encapsulates half a century of design consistency and national continuity. It is the descendant of the very first decimal coins that marked Australia's break from British currency, yet its obverse continues to bear the British monarch, a paradox that beautifully summarizes Australia's hybrid heritage. As time advanced and later portraits by Ian Rank Broadley (1999-2018) and Jodie Clark (2019 onward) appeared, the 2000 issue became part of a lineage marking each era of Elizabeth II's image, now cherished since her passing as a tangible memorial to the longest reigning monarch in British and Commonwealth history. Each coin is thus both everyday artifact and royal souvenir. Today, collectors often keep the 2020-cent piece not for rarity but for story, a silvery disc that links the optimism of the new millennium with the steadfast grace of the Queen who guided the Commonwealth through decades of change. Whether it rests in a velvet-lined album or still circulates, dull with wear, in some coastal town's change drawer, it remains a whisper of history in metal form, sturdy, practical, and quietly magnificent, a true emblem of Australia's enduring blend of independence, loyalty, and natural wonder. Please like and subscribe to my channel.